couple of days ago, Todd Howard finally addressed Starfield's questionable PC performance. This is what he had to say.
We really do push the technology, so you may need to upgrade your PC for this game, but it's got a lot of great stuff going on in it, and the fans are responding awesome.
So he's essentially saying, kick rocks, get a better build. Look, if you've watched my last couple videos, you know that I am obsessed with Starfield. This game has just consumed me and I think it's fantastic, but the performance on my PC has not been very good at all. I've got an 8th gen i7 with a 12GB 3060, 32GB of RAM, and a 512GB NVMe. It's definitely an outdated build, but this is the first game I've actually had an issue with in terms of performance. But it brings me peace of mind to know that people are struggling to run this game on 4070s and 4080s, so I think that it's absolutely fair to assume that there are some PC optimization issues here. And after Todd Howard said what he said,
upgrade your PC,
I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to put some more money into this computer, which I really didn't want to do because I just bought this thing. But over the past 24 hours, there have been some discoveries. Either Todd Howard lied or simply didn't know. According to this Reddit thread, which I understand is probably the worst thing that you could start off a sentence with, apparently a VKD 3D developer, don't ask me what that is, did some snooping around in Starfield's coding and managed to find a couple significant flaws. I'm just going to read from the thread here. Starfield allocates its memory incorrectly where it doesn't align to the CPU page size. If your GPU drivers are not robust against this, your game is going to crash at random times. Secondly, Starfield abuses a DX12 feature called Execute Indirect. Essentially, this is supposed to receive hints from the game so that the graphics drivers know what to expect. Since Starfield sends in bogus hints, the graphics drivers get caught off guard trying to process the data and end up making bubbles in the command queue. These bubbles mean the GPU has to stop what it's doing, double-check the assumptions it made about the indirect execute, and start over again. Starfield creates multiple of these execute indirect calls back-to-back instead of batching them, meaning that the previous problem is compounded multiple times. So, I mean, to me, I don't really know much about coding and computers and stuff, but this doesn't sound good. And while I think that most of the issues could be on our end, because let's face it, this game is absolutely massive, if you're gonna throw next-gen loading screens at me, I think it's a fair expectation that I can get frames above 40. Personally though, frame rate is the only issue I've had with this game, and it's only been in the larger cities and densely populated areas, even with crowd density on its lowest setting. And I want to reiterate, I really don't mind the loading screens at all. They're very short, and it would be quite difficult to pull a game like this off without them, but these loading screens exist so that the world behind them can render properly. And don't get me wrong, the game is beautiful in its own right, but it's not Elden Ring or Red Dead 2. I absolutely adore Starfield. I will defend this game for the rest of my life. I really do love it, but if these errors in coding are true, given what Todd Howard said, I don't really find that excusable. There's definitely a lot to ponder here, a lot to keep your eyes on. I think that, again, despite what Todd Howard said, the community's just going to get louder and louder regarding this problem, and it's already hindered the game's ratings quite a substantial amount. So I don't think they really have a choice but to look into these issues a lot more thoroughly. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, time will tell. Regardless, I'm still enjoying the game a lot, but I'd love to know if any of you are having similar performance issues and what your PC builds are if you're playing it on PC. If you liked this video, you can like it. If you want to see more, you can subscribe. Totally up to you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace and love.
Upgrade your PC.